What I think you will find, even now, at the midst of this heightened activity, you'll find that. Hey everybody, broker owner Jay Pitts here with RE/MAX Premier Properties. I'm back for another episode of JTP University. Today, I'm going to talk to you about 3 practical tips on working with for sale by owners to help get your buyers under contract, and a little bit about why that's a good idea. Let's talk about the why first. Right now, we know that we are in the midst of the busiest market, the most hectic market for buyers, where sellers have all the advantage in terms of negotiating, and houses are selling under multiple offer for thousands of dollars over list price, and they're doing it in about 5 minutes from the time it hits the MLS. What I think you will find, even now, at the midst of this heightened activity, you'll find that for sale by owners get a fraction of the traffic of the property that hits the MLS. Now, we know this. We sell this very topic, this very reason to for sale by owners as to why they should employ our services on the listing side. But some of them are just hell-bent on keeping their course of action and going the for sale by owner route. Sometimes it just does no good, okay, to fight that. And when you have a buyer that's interested in a certain piece of property and you find it in an online ad, probably on Zillow, okay, and you can get access to that, there are a lot of agents that just don't want to mess with it. Okay, so you're going to have more opportunity to negotiate a fair offer for your client. You're going to have the leverage and leg up in negotiating because they're not professional negotiators in most cases. You're going to have the opportunity to negotiate repair requests and reasonable repairs and things like that, as long as you manage the transaction well. This is what we're here to talk about. Let's start from number 1. I will say a good idea and good practice is to flatter them. To do all the things that you would normally do, okay? Ask good questions about their home. Ask them about where they're moving. Get them talking. Compliment their intelligence and their confidence for going for sale by owner, okay? Tell them how hard it is and how most people don't succeed, but don't try to list their house. Stop short of that. You don't want to give off the commission breath that most agents will, and you don't want to be adversarial at all when you're, talking to a for sale by owner. So you have to flatter them about their home, flatter their intelligence. They're expecting you to be adversarial. Number 2, I said it before, got a little ahead of myself, but ask open-ended questions. When you ask those open-ended questions and you get them talking, you find yourself in the midst of a rapport building situation. That's exactly what you want. You want them to trust you. Their fear and insecurity is not just with your commission, it's with the safety. It's that you're going to try to pull the wool over their eyes. You're going to try to take advantage of them. You need them to feel comfortable in working with you, even if they're not really compensating you any more than what you would typically make when working with a buyer. And, a little side note is they're probably open to that. You're going to find out before you go, because they don't want to write off 98% of buyers that are represented by real estate agents. So they're willing to pay that commission. It's probably not a topic to even worry about trying to negotiate, but you need to get them talking. You need to get them speaking emotionally about the transaction, and you need them to start to see themselves working with you, even if they're not hiring you. Okay, you're going to get that done by getting them talking. Practical tip number 3, get a one-time showing listing agreement signed that cements your compensation, okay? Before you show up, do not allow yourself to show your house to the client, getting them excited about the property. They have to have it only to have the seller understand that they've got you over a barrel and attempt to start negotiating with you instead of with your client. Listen, your compensation needs to be spelled out. It needs to be signed and in writing, and it doesn't need to be done so in front of your client. Don't walk in there with a form for them to sign and meet the seller and allow them to make an awkward situation. Remember, you want that moment to be about rapport building with the seller, okay? Use dotloop, use DocuSign, use Authentisign, whatever you got at your disposal to get that electronic signature before you show up, so you can spend your time once you're there, not worrying about your compensation, not worrying about it being awkward with your client or with them. so that you can worry about trying to put a deal together, okay? Last tip, just understand that the negotiation is not over despite getting an accepted contract. You get the accepted contract and the seller may not understand, okay, just what everything is wrong. Remember, they haven't had the representation of a real estate agent. They don't know what the flaws are. They don't know what the typical solutions for those flaws are. So there's a pretty decent chance that you can negotiate after the accepted contract to get your clients some more favorable terms. And I think that you got to use that advantage. Look, it's not your choice that they go for sell by owner. It's theirs. So the consequences of those actions fall squarely on their shoulders. Okay. Remember these 4 tips. Appreciate your time very much. Once again, JTP University. I am your host, Jay Pitts, broker owner at RE/MAX Premier Properties. We'll see you soon.